Well, welcome to the final programme from bauma 2013. We're going to give you some views from the top. Believe me, it's worth watching. Join me after the break. Well, welcome back. I promised you views from the top, and you couldn't get more from the top than this. We talked about having a bird's eye view of the show all week, and now we really have got one. But during this program, we're going to be talking again to the top manufacturers about where they see the emerging markets coming from and how they're going to react to it. And we're also going to be looking at the world of asphalt. But for the moment, join me in looking at the view.
The industry leaders have their feet very firmly on the ground as they look for where the next stage of growth will come from. And it seems they see opportunity in many different places.
We think there's a lot of opportunity, developing markets, even in Europe there's opportunity. So we're encouraged. Not always going to be even, it's a cyclical business, but Terex is headed in a good way.
I think that for Europe, due to the debt that we have in many countries, is still an issue and still difficult, except some countries, but globally speaking in Europe it's difficult. We think that other markets are more favorable, like of course all America, including North, which is today better than it was 2 years ago, but also South America, of course. I think that Asia is still a market, growing market, even if China is less good than it was before, but it's still a good market. And also Russia is a good market, so I think that outside Europe we can find space for growth. It's not so easy that it was maybe 1 or 2 years ago, but still a good. We still have some space to grow on these markets.
We have already a pretty strong presence in many countries in Africa, Middle East, and I think we have a product that is already well suitable. Soon we will start to work on products that are more customized, let's say, to these markets that, for instance, don't require these strict emission regulations. So we will have more affordable machine for customers operating in those areas.
Mongolia, a country that is rich in coal, rich in gold, but doesn't have roads. And so the answer is worldwide. We're specifically targeting all these emerging markets. And what's very fortunate for us is that Caterpillar has dealers already there.
The China market ran up very, very hot in the start of 2011. And there was certainly a correction last year, but long term there's a growth trajectory that's still there. So it's still, even if last year was a dramatic adjustment down, was still third best China market of all time. So a very nice market to be a leading player in.
The aggregates business is also looking to the developing markets, and especially the crusher manufacturers.
As China, India and Africa in particular begin their momentous development plans, so the demand for aggregate rises. This is good news for the manufacturers of crushers who see the requirements for bigger plants. All of the leading OEMs are here at bauma showing new models and new ideas. And earlier in the week, Sandvik launched its CH550 cone crusher. The other manufacturers also had plenty to talk about.
We see now a movement towards more versatile machines. Reliability is more important now than ever it has been. Customer uptime is of optimum importance. So in addition, we're seeing demand for electrical machines, bigger crushers and screeners to suit the mines and the bigger markets in Africa, for example.
OEMs such as Terex Finlay are looking at adapting crushers to enable a quick switch to recycling capability simply by changing the deck. Recycling is certainly a buzzword at bauma, particularly in the world of asphalt, with Germany's Benninghoven introducing something new.
In order to save valuable resources, we have developed a special machine which can handle big lumps of recycling material, which then separates it back into its own original structure. So this then allows you to add as much possible recycling to the asphalt plant, which is important. So we basically have not a crushing effect, we have a separation effect. This we achieve by a two-line crusher system, or granulator we call it. This enables you to go on the recycling plant or on the asphalt plant to an extreme high content, because the quality of the material is superior. We listen to the demands of the customers, so we have made some developments on it, especially on the capacity and the separation, and now we have made first tests very positive.
Elsewhere in the asphalt market, Fugale unveiled a new range of pavers which it said offers higher performance, productivity and finish quality. These included 3 tracked and a couple of wheeled pavers. Versatility is the in word at Marini, where the company added new 150 to 180 tonne an hour E-tower asphalt plants to its top tower lineup. These feature a number of energy-saving innovations. But in terms of launches, there was big news from Bauma with the launch of its biggest ever asphalt paver, the BF 900C.
Benefits of the new BF 900C. It's for us a step in the really big application of motorway paving. This is our biggest paver with theoretical 900 tons an hour paving capacity. And this paver pulls a 30-meter wide street with a new heating system. And this is for Bauma the step in to pave a complete highway or motorway in one pass.
So Christina Smith, the Italians, they're here in force, 480 exhibitors, the second largest international grouping. What's the mood amongst the Italian exhibitors?
Well, Alan, I would say the mood is mixed. Some of them are quite low-key, and the reason for that is concern about the situation at home, politically and economically, but others are more upbeat. And the ones that tend to be optimistic are those that are looking to push into overseas markets.
So what are the strategies that these companies are adopting to hit these export markets?
Well, take Pelosio, for example. We're here in their beautiful stand. They're an Italian firm that's looking to punch above their weight. And over the last 3 years, they've increased their exports from virtually nothing up to 80%. And they've done that by changing their business strategy from being a firm that manufactures and distributes to a firm that supplies consultancy and technical expertise. Another example would be a firm called Perlini, and they make massive dump trucks for quarrying applications. What they've done is they're setting up businesses with partners in Brazil, China and Russia, and they're looking to manufacture the dump trucks there so that they can spread into those emerging markets.
Well, it's fascinating. And another Italian company that's really doing well, and we're going to have a look at those, is Bonfiglioli. Let's go.
The highlights of Bonfiglioli booth are this year regarding some electric solution. So our planetary gearboxes are combined with electric motors instead of the traditional hydrostatic. For example, we have the solution for the concrete mixer and for the wheel drive with electric motor.
Now the search for new markets goes on right across the industry. UK company Miller has tied up with Chinese manufacturer Lugong and sees opportunity for its quick coupler in the Chinese market and beyond.
With Lugong, we've been working with them for the past 3.5–4 years now. We're looking at working with them for domestic China, which is a big challenge because quick coupler technology isn't thoroughly embraced in China yet. But that's for us and Lugong to work together to try and change customers' perception. We're also looking at working with Lugong to supply through them to the established markets, because as they build their networks in the established markets of the West, then they will require a lot of quick couplers, and we will be working with them to supply that demand.
And closer to home for Bauma, the final talking point was the challenge that the manufacturers have in maintaining operator ease and comfort while introducing new technologies.
The Tier 4 engines are a challenge for a manufacturer. There's a lot of technology in those engines, but the biggest challenge for us is fitting the engine into our vehicles. From a space engineering standpoint, it takes a lot of work. Additionally, it has to be done very well so that when an operator is sitting on his machine, he or she still has visibility to the areas that you need to do the work and from a safety standpoint.
And that's it for bauma 2013, our final show. Unlike many of the exhibitors, I've walked so many kilometers this week. I'm glad I'm here at the Nagel booth though, because they have something pretty good for me. It's time to slip off the jacket, kick off the shoes, and say to you, goodbye until the next time. And boy, do my feet need a break.